call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen?
Here.
Green?
Yes.
LaFour?
Here.
Mistrovich? Reindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Warren?
Here.
A motion to excuse Mike Mistrovich.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
And we need to say why and being out of town for tonight's meeting. And John, you would add that to your original motion
That's
for
correct.
being out of town. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Approval of minutes for the quarterly roundtable meeting of October 19th would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any discussion on the motion or the minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also have the City Council regular meeting of October 19th. Is there a motion for, to approve those minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Been made and supported. Is there any discussion on the motion and or the minutes? Being not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We, as of right now, we have no audience with us tonight, so we will go directly to adoption of the agenda. Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes, other than I did email out council a new background brief for item number 6 and have laid it on your desk.
Thank you. Council, any changes?
The only thing, the background brief for our first item, I think, is messed up.
Oh, I apologize.
Is it the date?
It refers to,
The date?
no, the whole background brief, I believe it refers to a previous agreement that was already done.
I was a little confused. I read it 3 times. Maybe we can discuss that, and if,
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to,
yeah, look, if you want to leave it on the agenda, then,
yeah, I want to,
Okay.
agenda, I just want to bring it out
yeah,
as part of the agenda.
okay, all right. Okay, motion to adopt the agenda as presented would be in order then.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We need a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We'll go on to items for consideration. We have 6 this evening. The first one being consideration of memorandum of understanding with Columbus Township fire contract. Mr. City Manager.
City Council is scheduled to consider approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Richmond and Columbus Township relating to 2019-2024 fire contract. As the administration and the City Council have discussed, Columbus Township has been recently reviewing their fire contracts, and they have been on a month-to-month basis with their current provider, and have recently requested that the City of Richmond supply them with a proposal for services. We did that, and they recently approved it at their meeting, and we have tailored the memorandum of understanding with Columbus Township after the one that we previously approved with Richmond Township to then cover all of Columbus Township versus the 17 sections that we currently do. And this was at their request that we provide the proposal.
Okay. Is there a clarification, Rob?
Yeah, just not to get council confused, some of the background brief referred to the coverage with the Richmond Township agreement previously at the beginning, the first 2 paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
I didn't know if that was background information
Right.
or what, or, you know.
But I read a couple of times, it wasn't until later that I caught it, didn't catch it too late to bring it to John's
Yep,
attention.
sorry. Yeah, I was cut and paste with the background brief that I used for the Richmond Township. So the Columbus Township agreement currently covers, 27 sections.
27 of the 36, I
Of the
believe it is.
36 approximately, and they're looking for someone to cover the 9 additional. If you look at your map in the background brief, the first map shows in green the amount of coverage area that we, existing fire district boundary. In the blue, if you look at the key to the map, shows the proposed.
The other thing is, down towards the bottom, right above summary of previous council action, I believe that's a typo there, that should be 2020 instead of 2021.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, now, we need a motion before discussion.
I'll make the motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the city of Richmond and Columbus Township regarding their 2019 through 2024 fire contract to add the remaining 9 sections within the Township of Columbus to the RVFD service area per the township's request.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Discussion.
I guess, we have firefighters who are on council. Are you comfortable with this?
Yeah, as a member of the fire department, yeah, it's not that much extra area, in fact, what we're covering. And a majority of it's, rural farmland, if you will. So it's not that much, and what's actually in there is, like I said, is mainly vacant land. So it's not gonna be much of a burden at all on the department.
And in the years past, before Lennox got their own fire department, Richmond used to cover a large portion of Lennox. So it's not going to be, I don't see any strain on any extra equipment or anything like that. So we've actually lost area over the years and still retained the same amount of equipment. So I think we should be fine with that.
And prior to proposing, sending the proposal to Columbus Township, I did meet with the fire officers on both areas that we recently made proposals on, and to make sure they were comfortable with it before ever submitting a proposal to them. I wouldn't do that to the fire department, submit something that they weren't comfortable with.
Of course.
And to make it perfectly clear, we did not seek an extension to the area. We were asked by the township itself, asked us to come to this area to cover that area.
Yes, we never at any time sought extra area. Both townships that have recently contacted us have done so based on their experience with us, not only with the firefighter servicing they get, but also the ancillary services, getting the runs in a timely manner, all of the administrative work that our volunteers keep up on and provide to the townships.
My understanding also is we have mutual aid. I talked to the chief, we ran into each other voting yesterday, and he said that the fire department's already discussed with the Kimball Township area that adjoins that property, that if there's an issue, they can be there if needed.
Correct.
So, okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate this couldn't have been worked out with the existing contract with Memphis the way it is, but just happy to be able to help our neighbors, to step up and help them when they request help, that we're able to give them that assistance that they needed.
Anything else on this? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Okay, item number 2 is consideration of the special event application from Hummingbird Home, a business on Main Street in Richmond. Mr. City Manager?
The City Council is scheduled to consider a special event application from Hummingbird Home, Diane Maniaci, to have 2 outdoor vendors as part of their holiday open house on Saturday, November 7th and Sunday, November 8th. Hummingbird Home, Florist Trash to Treasure, and 2 other businesses are having a holiday open house and vintage road trip event. Originally, they had intended to have extra vendors inside of their business, but due to the resurgence of COVID and the desire to give a little more extra space, they are requesting that those be placed outside their side entrance there, which is technically the municipal parking lot. So they're coming to us for this coming Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Very good, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the special event application from Hummingbird Home to utilize a portion of the municipal parking lot and have 2 outdoor tents / vendors as part of their holiday open house on Saturday, November 7th and Sunday, November 8th.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item? Glad to see that they're doing something like this and working with other businesses in the area too.
In my understanding, it's this weekend, and I know they were putting it together quickly. I believe some of the other vintage stores in the area are also participating too, but just weren't on the list at the time this was given to us.
Okay, great. Hopefully it becomes something annual in Richmond. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 3 is consideration of MDOT contract strain pole painting. Mr. City Manager.
The City Council is scheduled to consider approving Resolution 2020-9, which approves the MDOT contract 18-5272 to paint the strain poles down at 31 and Gratiot, that intersection. As we've discussed, next year the MDOT will be improving several intersections in Macomb County. Our Tax Increment Finance Authority has upped by contributing $80,000 or so to the MDOT to have mast arm design here at 32 and Main in our traditional downtown area. But down in the Muttonville area, we felt the 4 strain poles, as long as we painted them black to match the other streetscape elements in the area, that would be enough. Also, with the general fund, we didn't have the money to go with the mast arm design. So the cost to upgrade and paint those strain poles black to match the other elements of the streetscape is $14,600.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2020-9, which approves MDOT contract number 18-5272 to paint the strain poles black at a cost of $14,600 and name the city manager as an authorized official to sign documents.
I'll support.
Motion been made and support. Is there any discussion on this item? Glad we're doing it. It'll complement the streetscape program that we've had for a number of years.
Being this whole streetscape is, this comes out of general fund, not Tifa? How does that?
With the area that it is 31 in Gratiot,
Okay.
it would
I didn't know if
be
we're
more
getting
appropriate to come out of
general.
general. I mean, there's times when it's like directional signage and
Right.
things that it's more appropriate that, hey, you're directing people to the Tifa district, but this is more just enhancing that
Okay.
intersection. Yep, but good question.
Okay, and on our inner packet, we got the pictures of the hanging lights, but we're not having the hanging lights, we're having
No,
posts.
we're having posts at 32 in
Right.
Main, down at 31 Gratiot. The traditional way of doing an intersection like that, what we have now, is you have a post, just 2 posts diagonally across, and that's why when you get there, the lights are offset and you're like looking, because you can't see them across the way.
Okay,
It
but they're
causes-
hanging though.
They're hanging, yep.
Yes.
So now you'll have 4 posts, and the lights will be hanging across the intersection from you, so they're more visible.
But on a post, not on a
No.
line.
Oh, no,
On a
it'll still
line.
be strong.
You'll have 4 posts and then wires going from
Okay.
each.
But instead of up there, they're gonna be across so you
Yeah.
can easily see them.
often if you've gone to an intersection where you have a hard time, like the signal will actually be above your windshield, you have to duck down
Oh,
to see
okay.
it. Now it'll be across the way and you'll be able to clearly.
Instead
see
of over the center.
it. Right, correct.
I see,
correct.
I see. And then this is just to paint the poles
That those wires.
that those
yeah,
wires will
correct,
hang on.
Correct. Otherwise, they're like the gray, that if the county radio tower out back here,
Yes.
it would look like that
Okay.
in the middle of our
But
streetscape.
in here, we're having the post, not the wire hanging ones.
At
Okay,
32
At
and.
32,
In
okay.
Maine, yes.
just for clarification.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
Quite complicated.
Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 4 is consideration of DTE inventory agreement. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider approving a master agreement for street lighting for all of the decorative streetscape style lights that the city has. We have done those lights in 4 phases with Detroit Edison, starting in 1999 and ending in 2003. And each contract for that had its own separate agreement. DTE would like to take all of those 4 agreements and put them into one master agreement, so we're working off the same agreement. Nothing else has changed. We already keep stock at the DPW yard because those poles, for those of us that were involved in the streetscape, were selected because they match other elements in the community. The base and the fluted pole look a lot like the town clock and the gold ancillary features at the top of the luminary kind of match also the metalwork at the of the town clock. And so because those are not stock items for Detroit Edison, we have to keep so many of the poles and the luminaries and the bases at DPW. We're doing that, but we're doing it under 4 different agreements that were done over the years. This will just clean it up and have one agreement.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the master agreement for municipal street lighting with DTE and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Is there any discussion on this item? John, do you know if we store those inside, those poles? I can't picture them outside, but
I thought we stored them up above the director's office now, but I'd have to verify that. I know at one time we stored them outside, but I thought we brought them in to keep them in better shape now.
yeah, that's what I was,
Yep. And from time to time, Jim comes to Tifa when we get low, and we have a rep from Holophane, or a local, whoever's the local rep for Holophane, I should say. We get a good price and purchase those.
when those get knocked down in an accident that we are on, not some of these that we don't see and they leave,
yeah.
but the ones that we do go on, do we get reimbursement for those poles through the?
If we have the ability to go after the, let's say it was a drunk driver or somebody fell asleep and hit it, yes, we try to go after and get reimbursed, at least for our cost, to supply that extra pole.
Okay.
There's no cost for Edison to put it up, although we let Edison know, hey, here's the police report, if you want to go after them, you can as well.
Okay.
But they don't charge us, because we've already paid for the installation once, they don't charge us to reinstall the pole. We just have that stocking cost. And so, but we do, when we have a police report, we do go after them, yes.
Okay, good. Any other comments, discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 5 is consideration of resignation from the EDC. Mr. City Manager?
Council is being requested to consider the resignation of Marie Eves from the Economic Development Corporation. Attaches her letter that she submitted at the last EDC meeting, and unfortunately, she is moving out of town and cannot continue.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept the resignation of Marie's from the Economic Development Corporation.
It's been made and supported. Any discussion on this item?
I just want to, again, thank Marie for 20 years of service on the EDC. She faithfully attended many years, and it's quite a commitment that is just much appreciated.
Second that. We wish her well on her next move in life also, moving out of town. Any other discussion, comments? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 6 is consideration of firewall and server purchase. Mr. City Manager.
The City Council is scheduled to consider approving the purchase of a firewall and computer server for City Hall. The current computer server at City Hall was purchased when we moved from Old City Hall over 5 years ago. And administration had anticipated budgeting in either next year's budget or the following year for its replacement and upgrade on the firewall. However, recently we were awarded CARE funds through the county, and this is an eligible expense under that, as it'll allow our department directors to work remotely easier. Should we slip back and have to go back to that, it also allows them to currently work remotely without bumping each other off of our server. So like with timesheets, things like that, that morning, we have to set up a schedule, otherwise when one gets on, if they're not paying attention, they'll bump the person who's currently working on their timesheets off of the system. And so it'll also allow for common emails, and so we'll be able to get rid of a lot of our Comcast emails that some of our department directors still utilize and switch them out for City of Richmond emails. All at the same time being able to spend federal dollars versus local tax dollars to do this replacement that was coming in either next year or the year after. We had put the proposal together pretty rapidly due to the time constraints of the grant cycle and timelines of the grant. So as I emailed out earlier today, there is a new number on the server due to some upgrades in the hard drives that were being supplied. Our city treasurer feels comfortable that we normally have that much left in the IT maintenance budgets that we have here at the city and can cover that additional cost. That'll, in high tech, knowing that we only had a certain amount with the grant, did approve splitting that extra cost with us.
We always like that. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive purchasing ordinance requirements under section 64-53D and authorize the proposal from High Tech for a new firewall and computer server for a total cost of $35,151.30.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion?
I would like to say something on this. This is a very incredibly powerful server. It's very expensive. And if we didn't have the CARES, I would absolutely say no to this and really want to dig in deep why this costs so much money and why they need so many hours to do this. Not that I'm in the field now, but a little bit of background I know. I would, I don't know, I just, it's very hard to approve, and in the future, I really think we should have an independent, non-biased IT firm looking at this. We have lots of talent in the city who I'm sure, because they're taxpayers, might be interested in just offering an opinion on this. This is very powerful, very expensive.
Very expensive as far as the unit we're purchasing is a very expensive unit, and there's a possibility that there's cheaper units. Is that what you're saying,
Yes.
Jamie? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. Even going with a Dell than a Hewlett Packard could save $6,000.
But yet it's what's been highly recommended by the company that we always use versus going with a less expensive unit for some reason. Do we have any idea, John?
A lot of times when we've gone to, and I don't disagree with Jamie, had we had more time, we probably would have done a little more research on it, but the time constraints of the grant really prevent us from doing that at this
Yeah,
point.
okay.
And High Tech, knowing that we were under the gun, I'm sure didn't want to shortchange us, wanted to make sure that because they knew that if they didn't put enough in the grant for labor it would end up coming out of our pocket versus the grant. So I'm sure they were conservative in that.
Okay, I got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You guys are always, I'm lost when it comes to this. It's, okay, all right. Any other discussion, comments? Okay, roll call vote. It's okay, it's okay. Usually I screw this up.
Allen,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
LaFour,
Yes.
Rondell,
Yes.
Ricks,
Yes,
Warren.
Yes.
motion passes. Okay. We move on to miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
I just want to commend the city clerk and all of the election workers that did a great job yesterday, and thank council for allowing us to split the precincts. It made voting, I think, in the city of Richmond just much easier. The early reports we got from both precincts were that they worked out a lot better from the workers' perspectives on having those precincts split. Certainly, it's been a trying election this time with COVID concerns and the early voting. The amount of effort, just city staff at the front counter with Dawn and Becky and Troy, everyone just pitching in to help the clerk as those people came in for their early ballots. And even this past Saturday, the number of ballots we processed was, or absentee applications that we processed was staggering. And then even yesterday, our rec director worked precinct 2, our library director worked the AV poll, and so it was a true team effort. But certainly, the city clerk, Karen Stagel, and her staff did a great job yesterday. And then after the meeting's adjourned, I'll be passing out the recreation master plan drafts to everyone. I'll also send out some instructions to review it through email, but essentially it's all here. All of the changes, any of the deleted words you'll find with a strike through. Any new language is highlighted in yellow. All the maps have been updated and everything like that. Some of the formatting's a little off because obviously I didn't want to spend too much time on that, because once you take out all those strike through words and stuff, it's going to change everything again. And so the index, the page numbers of, where like section 5 is, may not match where it truly is in the document, but I think everyone understands that in the draft that, you're reading, you're just, everything is there, but, you still have all the old language so that you can compare the old to the new. So it's all here. We'll be taking this to the rec board at their December 1st meeting with a public hearing at that meeting. From there, it would come to the city council for your meeting on December 7th for final approval. And so we just want to get this out because we know it's a large document, so you have time to read through it and call us with any oversights or changes that you see.
Very good, John. I think we all will echo, as we all witnessed it yesterday. Your comments about the clerk and all the staff and everybody working together. It was, I think it was a very proud thing to see the way the lineup, and the first thing in the morning, I know at precinct 1, at 5 minutes to 7, there was at least 150 people waiting to get into the building, and the last one I talked to, and it was a total of 35 minutes. They put them right through, so they did an outstanding job. They were ready for it, and hats off to Karen and yourself and everybody else that was there to help. We're going to start off tonight with our birthday person, Emily. Any comments?
No, not tonight. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Just again, would like to thank Karen for the integrity that she has with her election. So I know lots is going on in the country, and I just appreciate that. That is one thing in the city of Richmond that we do fantastic. She does fantastically, and her team is that we have a solid, that when you cast your vote, that's it. And I just thank her over and over for that.
John?
Nothing.
Dennis?
I just wanted to agree, but I just want to add to the little things, voting, to having somebody directing you to park, to the sanitizing stations, to the comments I got from people that they felt safe coming in, they could wash their hands, they had every access to keeping things clean at their disposal. So I think that really made a difference especially with changing the precinct, having somebody tell them where to park and where to go. I think that really paid dividends, so in the long run, I think it was well worth it. So that's it.
Very good. Rob?
Nothing to add.
Very good. We'll do the calendar. Today being Wednesday, the 4th, we have Cable Commission on the 10th, 7 o'clock here at City Hall. I believe there's going to be a BZA.
There is, yes.
Okay, so the Board of Zoning Appeals will meet on the 12th at 7 o'clock, and once their business is done, the Planning Commission will start right after that, and that is on the 12th here at City Hall. The next regular scheduled City Council meeting is on the 16th at 7 o'clock right here at City Hall also. I also wanted to point out that the 11th is Veterans Day, and we would hope that everybody would take a moment and thank a vet. Our country is great because of those people. Also, the last day of yard waste, in other words, the last day of picking up those leaves, will be the last day that our carrier will pick up those leaves, will be the 24th of November. And it looks pretty much like most all the leaves are down. Last year, a lot of leaves were still up
No,
on
getting
the
close.
24th, so there shouldn't be a problem. Most of mine blew somewhere. I'm not sure where they blew
They
to.
moved to my yard.
Yeah.
40 bags later.
And one other announcement, we had a second meeting of the Christmas event planning, which will be the first Saturday in December. And because of the COVID, we've had to make quite a few changes, but one of the things we've done is put a little more emphasis on the parade. We're going to allow golf carts and side-by-sides in the parade this year. They have to be at least 50% decorated in the Christmas tradition. And we want to get that word out, because that will help. The more participants we have in the parade, I think the better the parade's going to be. And hopefully we get a good turnout. So that will be going out in the community very soon, the application for the parade and the contacts and everything else. But I want to take advantage of our council meeting to make it known to the public. Start dressing up your side-by-sides, your golf carts for a great parade, and we can at least do that and celebrate the Christmas season. Is that the 5th, John?
The 5th, yes.
Yeah.
First Saturday, yep.
December 5th.
And the parade starts at 5:30.
Yeah, okay. All right. Is there any other business of the city council this evening? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by, no, we need, Mike's not here.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Support.
I at least got the roll call.
Yes, you did.
You were watching me too, I know you were.
I was
All in
waiting.
favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion does pass. Thank you very much for being with us, and God bless America.